here? Well, Intertrust Global, an international trust and corporate management company, polled the chief or the CFO of 100 hedge funds globally about their attention to actually purchase crypto assets. And this is what's crazy. 98%, let me say it again, 98% responded that they expect their hedge funds to have invested about 7% of their assets by 2026. Why is this such a big deal? It's a big deal because if you would ask this same question in 2017, you would have been laughed at for the vast majority, because people don't, they're like, that is just nerd money. That is just money on the internet that no one really is going to care for. It's all tulip mania and no one's going to get into it. In 4 short years, we have 98% of hedge funds globally, and not all hedge funds, but this is just a random sampling. It may be less, it may be a little bit more, are like, yeah, we're getting into crypto. And not like 1 to 2% allocation, 7%. And actually, in all reality, they're really talking about 10%. So 17% of the polled CFOs admitted that their hedge funds could have 10% of their assets allocated to cryptos such as Bitcoin. I believe it'll be higher than that as we see more inflation, as we see the different problems with quantitative easing, and as we see the different problems with the central banks just kind of messing up left and right. And really, there's only one place you can get some real great asymmetrical returns, meaning that, yes, there's going to be risk, but for the amount of money that you put in to what you can actually get out, this is, in my opinion, what I feel is good for me, the place to be. And then just to finish this up, just as a little recap, investor PTJ, Paul Tudor Jones of hedge fund Tudor Investment, said last year that he holds a small percentage of Bitcoin. Same thing with Stan Druckenmiller, and that he's invested in the benchmark crypto. European hedge fund Brevin Howard, U.S. funds firm Skybridge Capital, Fidelity, and ARK Investment have also are the biggest names and are getting into crypto. And just real quick about Paul Tudor Jones. A year ago, he was talking about 1 to 2% in Bitcoin futures only, and he was kind of wishy-washy. Well, he just came out a couple of days ago and said, no, I'm putting 5% of my total portfolio into Bitcoin. And he's like, that's what I think it is. He talked about Jerome Powell's making huge mistakes. He doesn't think he's going to last, and that's where he's going. And this is a legend who predicted the 1987 Wall Street crash and is looked up by many in the traditional space. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I just think that where all the money is made is in the early days. And if you're here right now watching, you are so incredibly early. I can't even really put into words. So when people are saying like, Rob, you're boring and you just dollar cost average, you should really go all in. You can, but I'm telling you, I mean, for me, I've been doing this since 2017 and the returns have been outstanding for me. So when I see these studies coming about and people are going to get in slowly, I'm like, just front run those guys and I'll be okay. You do whatever you want to do. Your goals are not my goals. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's move on to our